Golden sun upon the sea,
golden sun is over me.
Ukulele melody,
drifting on a gentle breeze.
Let the worries fall away on this slow.
Hey everybody, it's Uncle Sully, back at you again with another food video. So this one's about raw food. Do you have a problem with raw food? Other than it's raw? But I don't have a problem with raw food. What is this video going to tell us? Tell us we can't have raw food either? Cooked food is overcooked. If you overcook it, it's bad for you. If you don't cook it, it's bad for you. If you jump up and down, it's bad for you. If you lay down, it's bad for you. God, these people, get off me. Anyway, let's let's see what this video's got to say.
Philosophy built on a very simple rule. When you cook your food, you kill it. The strict raw food diet demands that nothing is heated above 118 degrees Fahrenheit, operating on the belief that natural enzymes and essential nutrients are destroyed by heat. I don't
know, there's some stuff that you just couldn't eat. I mean, I'm a Brussels sprout fan. I love Brussels sprouts. I used to go camping in California on the coast where they used to grow Brussels sprouts. They actually grow on big, huge, big, huge stems like this that grow, that are like 2 and 3 feet above the plant, and they're like all like little tiny sprouts because they're little sprouts. But you couldn't think about eating those raw, right? And there's a bunch of other stuff I was thinking of. You can't eat. Oh, what about artichokes? Can't eat artichokes. You got to cook those. But well, maybe these are the exception, not the rule. Anyway, let's get back to it.
Presents a compelling case. Long-term practitioners of this diet regularly maintain unusually low body mass indices and carry virtually none of the systemic inflammation markers found in the average population. This split-screen comparative chart shows those positive health markers contrasted against a steep decline in bone density and collapsing vitamin B12 levels. On the left, we see the drop in inflammation, but on the right, we track the dangerous nutritional deficits found in these exact same dieters. Their bone density falls to near osteoporosis levels, and their vitamin B12 reserves completely fail. Because B12 is primarily absorbed from animal products, removing it from the diet triggers a direct chemical consequence. As B12 drops, a biomarker called homocysteine rises sharply. Elevated homocysteine is a major red flag tied to long-term cardiovascular and systemic damage. Beyond long-term deficiencies, avoiding heat exposes the body to immediate acute threats. Eating exclusively raw means bypassing the single most effective method we have for neutralizing microscopic pathogens. We have to ask whether applying heat actually destroys our meals, or if the act of cooking is a mandatory step required to catalyze human nutrition. And
we would guess it would be, some of the time it does, and some of the time it's just necessary. I mean, I could eat a raw steak, or like we were talking about Brussels sprouts or artichokes. You gotta cook them, right? I guess green beans and stuff like that, I guess you could, but they're better when they're cooked a little bit. But anyway, let's see what else they have to say.
Items highly prized in raw diets, unpasteurized milk, rare meat, and even seemingly benign raw sprouts function as warm, humid incubators. They create the perfect breeding.
I've had videos on that specifically, sprouts and then milk, and so I don't know if you watched those yet, but I've had specific ones about those.
Like E. coli and Salmonella to rapidly multiply. Humans have used thermal processing to manage these risks for roughly 700,000 years. Historical data suggests this mastery of fire drove significant changes in our physical and intellectual development, eventually leading to standardized safety practices like pasteurization. Heat does more than kill bacteria. It changes the molecular physics of the food itself. In its natural, raw state, a protein molecule exists as a highly complex, tightly knotted three-dimensional web of amino acids. Extracting energy from that impenetrable web is difficult. The human digestive system needs an external catalyst to force that molecular knot to open up. That catalyst is heat, a reaction called denaturation. Thermal energy causes the tangled protein web to chemically unfold and stretch out. With the protein unfolded, our digestive enzymes have unrestricted access, rapidly chopping the long amino acid chains into short, usable segments. Clinical kinetic studies track exactly how fast this works in the human gut. The data proves that cooked proteins result in drastically faster and significantly more complete absorption into the bloodstream compared to leaving the protein intact and raw. Mechanical processing acts the
Who would have thought that cooking it actually helps in any way other than making it edible? Because you think, for millions of years, we ran around in the forest and ate meat that was not cooked. You think, well, the cooking makes it more palatable, but it actually helps the nutrition. I had no idea that.
Simply grinding or mincing meat breaks down the physical structure before it even enters the mouth, accelerating how quickly the stomach can empty its contents. The speed of this absorption is critical for your metabolism. Rapidly delivering a high concentration of amino acids into the blood triggers essential metabolic functions, driving muscle protein synthesis and maintaining stable glucose levels. The modern food industry is built entirely on these mechanics. Mass-scale processing and heat treatment are utilized universally to get...
Yeah, that's not a picture I want to see when I'm thinking about my fresh and delicious food. Somebody like in a lab, in a coat, with 1,000 people all next to them. That's not what I want to think. I want to think of wonderful little people like fairies picking up the eggs and putting them in a basket, or milking the cow very gently while music in the background plays. La, 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 la. No, that's it. This is the way it usually is. Bunch of people in lab coats. Delicious.
Is both highly digestible and microbiologically safe. Applying heat doesn't ruin the value of protein. It transforms a complex, tightly wound molecule into fuel that is rapidly digestible and safe.
Who would have known cooking it actually makes it better for you? That's bizarre.
For the raw food philosophy can be seen in the digestive systems of adults over the age of 65. As the body ages, the body undergoes unavoidable biological changes. Stomach acid production naturally drops, and the overall rate of digestion...
Could you never think with the amount of heartburn I have that my stomach acid has decreased? Sure feels like it's increased.
Significantly. This delayed gastric emptying leaves food sitting in the digestive tract longer than it used to. It gives foodborne pathogens an extended window to colonize and multiply inside a body that already...
My internal organs are being colonized. Isn't that where they're going to start building churches?
Weakening immune system. Because of this vulnerability, previous dietary choices become severe biological threats. Plates of raw sushi, rare steaks, and unpasteurized dairy carry an exponentially higher risk of triggering serious illness. This bar chart shows muscle synthesis response in older adults, comparing raw against cooked protein.
Okay, I can't see that chart. Can you see that chart? Maybe we've been drinking too much milk, or not enough.
Triggers an inadequate response, while cooked and minced protein generates a much higher optimized synthesis. Aging bodies require this fast-absorbing fuel to combat age-related muscle loss. Realizing these essential nutritional benefits relies on strict meal preparation. The first two safety pillars are simple: aggressively wash hands and kitchen surfaces, and strictly separate raw meats from other ingredients to prevent cross-contamination. The final two pillars lock in that safety. Chill leftovers within 2 hours, and most importantly, always cook whole meats to a verified internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's one thing I've seen a lot about making sure food is safe is, yeah, get your old thermometer out. Oh, I got one right here in my pocket. Yep, nope, 3 more minutes. I mean, how often do we do that? Except for a turkey on Thanksgiving. And usually by the time you get halfway through the turkey, you're too drunk to read the damn thing anyway. That never happens.
Transforms hazardous raw materials into safe, life-sustaining fuel, a technological development that has shaped human biology for hundreds of thousands of years and remains a necessity as we age.
Well, that was some good information. They kind of cut off at the bottom there. I got to check these ahead of time because it really didn't give us a happy ending. Did I just say happy ending? It didn't give us like an ending like, oh, thanks for coming, or blah, blah, just, and stopped. Oh, well. AI, good information, but they're kind of hinky. They really need to put like a couple seconds of leader and a footer and header on these, because I'm playing these and they're starting right away and they cut off the first word. So anyway, I hope that was pretty good information. It was kind of interesting. It's good to know food safety. When I was doing this, I was kind of hoping more it was going to be about like the dangers of specific foods, like when you're older or when you're younger for that matter, like potato chips and chocolate bars and milk and cereal and you know what's in processed bread and some other stuff that you should at least know, because some of them cause all kinds of stomach problems and even skin problems, and you should know that. But most of these videos ended up being a little bit more about salmonella and food processing, which is good information. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Aloha from Maui. Take care. Aloha, and make sure you cook your food.
Golden sun upon the sea.
Golden sun is over me.